Welcome to our Harbor Highlights. Today is Friday, February 16th.
We have a packed show today featuring an interview with our counselor and footage from the Unified game.
We also have a band update and an interview about Wyldlife. This and more, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Jackson.
And I'm Miles. We have a little trivia for you. How many sunny days do you think we had in January?
Did you think of an answer? Well, here's a hint. It's less than the number of snow days we had.
We had 3, but we did have another 5 partly sunny days. We've been lucky to have some blue sky recently, but for many, the toll of no sun, gloomy cold weather that keeps many people indoors can start to have a toll on us.
Maybe you just feel, and you don't even really have a reason. Why? Well, if this is the case, we have our counselors to share with us some strategies to help us make it to spring.
We thought it'd be a good idea to touch base with the counselor on some things you have to know. Ms. Borrell, what are some reasons students might want to come to talk to a counselor?
So students talk to me and Miss Anderson for a lot of different reasons. Some common ones that come to my mind are anything having to do with mental health struggles. So a lot of students will come talk to us if they're feeling anxious or stressed or overwhelmed or sad about anything in their life. Some students have a lot of family stuff going on at home or, friendship struggles that they might be experiencing and just need someone to talk to about those kinds of things. So that's a really common reason why students come and talk to us. Anything having to do with academics, students come talk to us about as well. So if they have questions about their schedule, or let's say they're really struggling in math or science and just need some strategies of how to maybe bump up their grade a little bit, we are absolutely a source of support for that. Like I said, there's a lot of reasons, but another one that comes to my mind is friendship struggles. There might be some relationship struggles that students are experiencing. And one more really common thing that we talk about with students is just how to get them involved in activities inside and outside of school too.
What are some common struggles in middle school students?
Some common struggles that we see with our students, friendship difficulties. This is the prime time when your friend group might be changing. You might be making new friends, getting rid of old friends, just as you learn, how you deserve to be treated as a person and just as your interests change as well. And that can be really hard for students just when your friends kind of start to change. So that's a really common struggle with middle school students. I think anything having to do with your identity and just discovering who you are as a person is a really big challenge for our students at this age as well. Once again, you're learning what you like and what you don't like and what you are interested in and what you're not so interested in. And that can feel really overwhelming for our students. So that's a very common challenge as well. I think learning how to handle your own mental health is a big challenge at this age as well. So just learning how do you handle when you feel anxious, or how do you handle it when you feel stressed or overwhelmed by things. Those are really common struggles at this age.
What are some ways to deal with stress and anxiety?
There's a lot of ways to handle stress and anxiety. The first thing that comes to my mind is just to talk to someone about it. Something I frequently say to students is if you picture a can of pop or a bottle of pop and the lid is on tight and you shake it and shake it and shake it, on the inside of the bottle the pressure just builds and builds and builds. And if you just keep all of your stress and anxiety bottled up on the inside of you, that pressure just builds and builds and builds. So you got to find ways and strategies for how you deal with those things as they happen. So absolutely just talking to someone about that, whether it's me, Miss Anderson, a friend, a teacher, someone at home, just to kind of get that stuff off your chest a little bit, is a really healthy strategy to use to manage how you feel. Taking care of your mind and taking care of your body is another super healthy coping strategy for you to use for the rest of your life, no matter how old you are. So being mindful of what you eat, being mindful of how much physical exercise that you get and the types of activities that you're involved in. Like your body is so interconnected, so how you choose to spend your time affects your physical health, and that also affects your mental health as well. Also, just doing things that bring you joy. So on my bulletin board here, I have all of these different areas right here and just ideas of what you can do just to bring you happiness. That's a great thing to do whenever you are feeling stressed or anxious, because sometimes your brain just needs a little reminder of oh yeah, I can also do things that make me feel happy in this moment. I don't need to just focus solely on feeling overwhelmed or stressed.
What are some suggestions on how to handle friend issues?
Like I said before, this is such a common area that students struggle with at this age, so we talk about these strategies all the time with students. My biggest piece of advice, if you are having difficulties with a friend or with your entire friend group, is to never be afraid to get an adult involved. Right here at my table, I have many conversations with students, and I kind of act almost as a referee, just to facilitate the conversation and just to keep things calm and make sure everyone feels heard and seen when we're having difficult discussions with friends. So never be afraid to get an adult involved in those situations. Also, don't be afraid just to have those conversations with your friends too. If you ever feel that you are being wronged or mistreated by a friend, if you just ignore that and let that behavior keep happening to you, that's not fair to you as a person. So never be afraid to confront your friend in a very kind and non-aggressive way, but don't be afraid to have those conversations with your friends.
Around this time of year, many start to feel the effects of the winter blues. How are some ways we can make it until we see the sun?
Excellent question. So there is actually something called SAD, SAD is seasonal affective disorder. So that's a very real mental health diagnosis that a lot of people receive and experience, grown-ups and kids, this time of year. And that's because as we look outside, there is literally not an ounce of sunshine in the sky. It's bright outside, but we don't feel that warmth and we don't see that sunshine like we do in the summer. And that absolutely affects your mental health a lot more than people realize it does. So it's very common at this time of year, during the winter months and just kind of the gloomy months, for people to feel more sad and gloomy. So a big reminder that I give to both adults and kids is if you are feeling that sadness and you are feeling a bit more gloomy this time of year, don't isolate yourself as much as you want to. Just stay at home and kind of coop up in your room. Don't do that, because that's not going to actually improve your mental health. It's probably going to make you feel a little worse, even if you don't want to hang out with people. So kind of fighting against that feeling within yourself, getting outside of your house and outside of your room and socializing with your family and with your friends is a really healthy thing to do this time of year. Fighting against the cold weather outside and going on a walk, physical exercise, is really good for your mental health as well. But if you are going to stay inside, do things that bring you joy and bring you happiness. So for example, something that I really like to do, especially in the cold weather months, is to bake and cook a lot at home, because I can stay inside, but I'm still doing something that is good for my mental health because it brings me joy and it makes me feel happy. So doing things in your life that makes you feel that way too during these gloomy months is just a really healthy thing for your brain.
Thanks so much. And if you can't talk to a counselor, sign up in the Google Classroom.
We are lucky to have some amazing counselors at school to help us problem solve or just listen when we need someone to talk to.
Our counselors have a busy time coming up with the Career Day, March 7, and they will also be meeting with 8th graders soon to start scheduling classes for high school.
Now for this week's general announcements.
Hi, I'm Meredith.
And I'm Lauren. We have many clubs and activities.
Make sure to read the daily announcement for latest updates for something that's made sound good to you.
So students should be signing up for the Winter 2 season of Panther Pathways. Make sure to turn in the form to the office.
Today is the audition workshop for the middle school musical Wizard of Oz.
Please report to the choir room after school. Like Ms. Steinman explained last week, you will be broken into small groups to learn a song and a dance for the audition.
Please arrange a ride home at 5 p.m. in the Harbor Lights VAC parking lot.
Students had the opportunity to meet Crystal Wright at our Words Matter assembly. Here they are to tell you about the middle school Wyldlife group.
Do you know about the Wyldlife Club? If not, today we are interviewing the Wyldlife Club to find out more. What is Wyldlife?
Well, first, I'm Crystal Wright, and I am the staff person that heads over our Wyldlife at West Ottawa, and it is a nonprofit faith-based organization under Young Life, which is for high school, and our Wyldlife program is for middle school students. It's a place where people can grow in their faith, learn about faith, meet new people, come and hang out with their friends, and build community.
What do you like about leading Wyldlife?
I'm Amanda. I'm a Wyldlife leader, and I love leading because I like to build relationships with different people that choose to be involved in Wyldlife, and I love to support them about middle school situations and real life situations as well.
When and where do students meet for Wyldlife?
I'm Peyton. We meet on Sundays at the Anchor from 5 to 6 p.m.
What fun events are coming up?
So on February 25th is the next club, and there's going to be fun games and prizes, and that'll be at the Anchor from 5 to 6 p.m.
Why should students check out Wyldlife?
Students should check out Wyldlife because it's a great way to hang out with your friends, meet new ones, build community, and it's a safe place to explore your faith and learn more.
Thank you to the Wyldlife Club for letting us interview them, and thank you to Vicky for taping this.
The club meeting is February 25th, and it will be neon night. They meet from 5 to 6 at the Anchor. There will be food, games, and big raffle prizes.
Come check it out. I heard the raffle prizes include gift cards to Target and Chick-fil-A.
Grab a few friends and come check it out. It's tons of fun, and they want to meet you.
Now over to sports.
Students interested in this week's trip to Bittersweet for Ski and Snowboard Club, please sign up in the library or with Ms. Postma with your $10 for the bus.
If you have bus money from last week's canceled trip, you still need to let Ms. Postma know if you are planning on going.
For girls, the basketball,
The 7th grade teams play.
the wrestling team has a meet next Tuesday at Cityside.
Boys Swim and Dive have a home meet next Thursday at the South Pool.
The next unified basketball game is February 28 against Zealand Christian at Mac Bay.
Here's some footage from the assembly game.
It don't bother me if you're old or young. It ain't on my mind if you're big or small. How long it takes you to get up when you fall. If you can or cannot handle the spikes. In a world where you can be anything, I'll be kind to you. Could you be kind to me? Kind to me. It's all I'm asking.
A big thank you to our unified basketball team, Miss Montgomery, Miss Pepper, and all the behind-the-scenes helpers that made this event possible.
Our music classes have some exciting events coming up. Here is an update with one of our band teachers.
Hi, my name is Jackson. Today we're interviewing Mr. Gameforth to find out more about him. What instruments can you play and why did you choose to teach band?
Well, all band directors can play every instrument. We have to learn to play them in college so that we can teach them, so all of them. My major was euphonium, which is the baritone horn, basically, and so brass is my specialty. I chose band. This is actually a funny story. I chose band because all through middle school and early into high school I was into science. I was really into oceanography, the study of the oceans, and I took chemistry in 10th grade and bombed it badly, and I hated it. I'm like, I am not going into science. And I said to myself, what else am I good at? Well, I was pretty good at band. So I decided to be a band director. That's the reason.
Why do you enjoy teaching band?
The cool thing about teaching in any art, and music in particular, is that you get to perform the art. And so conducting, I'm part of the performance, and it's different every year. Even if we do the same music, the students are different. And so, you know, doing that art and performing it, you know, look at some of the book classes, as we call them. You learn about it, but you don't really get to do it. You don't go out and do that. Whereas in band, we go out and have concerts. We go out and have parades. In high school, we perform at the football games. And you know, I think so, you know, putting the learning into action really makes it a lot more fun.
What are your favorite parts about festivals and tulip time?
Well, generally speaking, my favorite part about band is festival season, you mentioned. So festival season, for those of you who don't know, is where we go perform for judges. I guess I like the intensity of it, the stress of it. You're under the gun because there are judges watching. Every other performance we do, we play for parents and general audience members from the community. But at festival, we're playing for judges, and I think I just liked the heightened stress of it.
Why would you encourage kids to do band?
Well, there's two sides to it. Number one, do you like playing? Do you like music? And that's the most basic part of it. Do you like the art of music and making music with friends and a group? But the other side is that we become a family. And for a lot of students, this becomes their place in school. And so that's a real great reason to be part of any group, band being one of them.
Thank you for answering questions, and thank you, Jimmy, for recording. The pre-band festival concert was yesterday. Good luck at festival at the end of the month.
The 7th and 8th grade orchestra concert is next Tuesday, and 8th grade choir is next Friday.
Don't forget, be the best Panther you can. Be respectful, be responsible, make good choices, and always go well.